Hello. So I've been talking about 30-day map challenge. So if you've not seen, this is part 3. If you've not seen part 1, part 2, go up, watch part 1 where I explain what 30-day map challenge is. And it's these prompts. Some people contribute to practice their skills of cartography, others, whether it's a professional aspect or fun. But I'm selecting those that are kind of more arty, more focused, less on the practicality of the map data, but and the data sharing abilities, but the art, what just makes some nice maps, and hopefully uses OpenStreetMap data, because I think that's really fun. As I said in video 1, its license allows the map data to be used, not just for practical aspects for a free map, but for free art as well. So in the last 2 videos, I kind of went through some of the days. We're on to day 14 now, and day 14 of 30-day map challenge was a world map. So that was the prompt. This example here, this contribution was a fictional map or a fantasy map of places in our real world. So it is in French, so they've got an interactive version of the website, and if we just look at that, yeah, so you can use a translation tool to translate that if you don't know French, if you're as tricky as me. A few people looked at the negative aspect of our classic worldview, the oceans. So I quite like this neon kind of looking version of the oceans of the world, and the currents surrounding them. So that, I think, was really arty. I'm not going to navigate the oceans with this. It is going to teach me, but it's just that vibrant picture. Day 15, the prompt's my data. I'm gonna class this picture here as kind of classify it as performance art. So it's the person's where they've been cycling, and they've got this aim. So there's various bits around Europe, particularly in the UK, but they've got this aim to join up with cycling the places they've been on the map, which I think quite cool and quite fun. Very much a performance kind of art part to it. And this one, another French contribution. I think it comes from IGM France originally, and so it's their LiDAR data, but it's in a 3D model. It's not real, but looks like it's made of wood. That's quite cool. I think that's a fun artistic medium to be using. Then I looked at this. I've been following Steve, and he's one of the Scottish OpenStreetMappers. I've been waiting for him to kind of do one of his strip maps, because I think they're really cool. Twisting a route that would normally wiggle around, I think this is from work to where he lives, and then putting them in a straight line, a strip. So that's great art, and I think he's really done it well here. It's not easy to tell when he turns corners. He's just showing the buildings on the left and on the right. Not very practical. Maybe it's practical if he knows it. But yeah, it's quite fun art, if he cares about his commute that much, that he could stick on the wall. Day 16, Colaborative maps was the prompt, and this is again his very particular way of showing data. Colaborative kind of meaning shading or different colours. So if you've got a data attribute for different geographic areas, you shade them by that number value. Is it too scientific, too much about the data? I don't know what you think, but I picked out a couple that just struck me, the visual aspect of them. So this was base map, having fun with how many tea rooms in North Yorkshire are accessible within an hour. Yorkshire and tea rooms, great, go together. Harrogate, unsurprisingly, has 100 tea rooms within an hour's travel of the town. And there's good ones there. I've been to a couple. What else did I see? Oh yeah, also Colaborative. This, I don't know why, I just like the colours of this, being bright and focusing it on being a visual thing rather than just the red, green or red, blue colour scheme. So I threw that in as one of my arty posts that I spotted. Day 17, so this one uses OpenStreetMap data, but it's stylized, so it's not fully practical. You're not really going to know exactly where the dog parks are, maybe you know where they spread out, but it gives information, and I think it's the art I've been thinking of, just seeing things around, where they are. So it's quite a fun one. Day 18, and it's 3D was the prompt. I could have expected more here. I don't know if I was just missing all the good 3D map art ones, but this is Sheffield looking like it's etched out of metal, which is quite cool. Really detailed. I don't know, because it's a 3D rendering, what's the scale? But that's fun. I wonder if someone actually had a metal 3D printer or CNC engraver they could do this on and make some art, some metal art of the map of Sheffield would be nice. Day 19 is typography. So yeah, starting with this one that I've got here, this Lucas, instead of putting typography onto the map, letters onto the map, as some people do, he used the map geographic areas, inspired by a similar project that I think did it in the US. So what I think these are, again, regions, administrative areas of France, and picking ones out that look like letters. Some are a bit better than others, and so you can use that to write letters with them, write words, which is quite cool. Maybe a bit abstract, not quite there. But what's nice is Lucas also plots where he found these areas on where in France. So it's kind of taking the map data away from being a map to being something else, being text, but also putting that back in so we can connect and see it all. There was also this one that I really liked, that it's map, the typography isn't a massive prompt, but they've used that to use the typography and on a postage stamp. And I think making a map so kind of what were my notes here? Just so simple enough and vibrant that it can be on a postage stamp, but also quite small, I guess. That was really nice, and it is art. Maybe they should make some postage stamps with maps on when they do the next special ones. Okay. Day 20, the prompt was OpenStreetMap. So of course that's great. Opens up the world so much. There's so much data. I saw one that was Chicago in a circle. In the polygons of Chicago. Quite vibrant, quite cool, quite arty, postery, nice, simple. Oh, and then I saw a post by Online Survey, which was really cool. I don't think the map's that exciting here, but I think it's a work of art that Online Survey and OpenStreetMap work together. Again, these two organisations, OpenStreetMap started because Online Survey wouldn't let people use their data for art without paying thousands, millions of pounds, you know, and being still restricted. But now there's this whole romantic, artful story of these being able to work together. Ordnance Survey being a lot more open and understanding also the really strong openness of OpenStreetMap and the value of user contributed. I could go on about it, I love it. But also OpenStreetMap having this sort of, yeah, you know, being British, I respect our national mapping agency is amazing. And more detailed because it had the money powering behind it. I'll move on because I had a few OpenStreetMap ones, of course, to look at. This line style I thought was really nice. The Botanical Garden in Kiev. Yeah, it's like they've not done a lot, but they've also done a lot. I think that was cool and I really liked it. And this one being another video from Steve, it was kind of a retro, retro sci-fi style, which is really arty and cool and quite fun. Going around the Glasgow subway system, so you got to see the video and just appreciate that. Yeah, maybe it shows you that the Glasgow subway is a continuous circle. Maybe it's for information purposes, but also, hey, it's just fun. It makes art of that geography and the river and the line and how it kind of moves around the city. Yeah, gotta like that one. Day 21 though was the prompt was conflict, and I think that's really important to understand different conflicts and the power behind maps on that. Sometimes maps help conflict, sometimes they can exasperate it and make it worse. Some people really went into a load of subjects on there, some serious on that, others silly, some about human conflict, some about others. I picked out this one because Hans kind of uses it about Cyprus, which I found interesting because it harks back to the first map editing conflict in OpenStreetMap, or the first well-known one was in Cyprus, about this borderline and people thinking what language should the street names be in. That's a whole nother subject for another video. But yeah, I found that interesting, and just a striking green line that cuts up this town was art with a lot of meaning and probably a lot of stories behind it. But on a lighter style, kind of throws us here with the turf wars of convenience stores in Hong Kong, the different brands and where they're kept separate or where they're quite close and make a clash. So that kind of summed up the variety of maps and contributions on that day. Day 22, the prompt was just 2 colours, which when you're limited to such a strong palette, I think you're going to find some art. You know, simplicity is how we find art. It's like these pillars behind me, you know, they've got a bit more than colours, but striking just a bit, big, large, bold images. So there were quite a few. I'll try and skip through these because you'll just have to judge them or decide whether you like them, whether they inspire you or not. So Sheffield, a nice pink map with OpenStreetMap data. Yeah. And then Petra, again, just using, I believe this is OpenStreetMap data again. I think yes, because it's via Maptala. But using strong 2-tone colours. This, I like they picked out, they made 3 different images using the same style, which I guess is cool. Not changing the colour palette, but changing the data, which is by changing where you are. It's really interesting and fun. Yeah, and also harking to how other people could make those images, giving the information, which is part of what 30-day map challenge is. It's practicing your own skills, but also sharing those with others. So that was nice. And Stephen went black and white. Actually, this was a kind of inspirational from art he saw on license plates that yeah, they were black and white and had some strange shape. He actually learned, or he figured out they connected to geography. They related to this racetrack near where he lived, and so that works out. So he kind of used this prompt to make an image about that racetrack and investigate it a bit more. And what's cool is, although he's only used 2 colours, I think there's maybe a third there because there's a grey, he's used shading these dots to kind of show different data and information, which that's quite cool. Pushing your prompt and using how can you use your art skills to kind of make something visually stimulating there. And I also threw in this one. There's been quite a few Scottish contributions, it seems, or maybe they stand out to me, the maps of Scotland, now that I live here. So this is St Andrews, striking kind of a navy and red, really looking cool one. With that border, it's becoming classic of those maps I see now that you can buy prints like this online, which is quite cool. And so that was day 22. So that's another collection of map images from these prompts for 30-day map challenge. All the links of the ones I'm sharing I'm going to put them on my website blog because that's easier to manage than writing it all in the YouTube description. So you can see them there. I'm updating that as these videos go live. I'm going to pause there so the video's not too long. Yeah, so I'm going to do just one more video. I think should get me through the last few days of 30-day map prompt map challenge. And with those last ones, I've also got some bonuses at the end, which is going to be fun. I hope you're enjoying this, and hopefully it's helpful. Not quite sure why I've done this, but I want to see that map art. I think map art's fun, don't you?